Chateau Saint-Michel Chardonnay, and this is 2018. And this is maybe what people in general maybe associate with the sort of the West Coast U.S.
When I explained in the beginning, when you talk about the terroir, that you have that Washington climate, you have, if I take a typical midsummer day in Eastern Washington in the desert, you walk the dog, you get up early, and the sun is there. You know it's a perfect blue sky, but it's fresh. You're going to put on your shorts, but you're going to put on a little jacket because it's about 10 degrees Celsius. And in a later afternoon, your day temperature will go up to 40 degrees Celsius. So it's hot. Humidity is very low. So in the morning cold, in the afternoon it's hot. At the end of the season, when we get to harvest season, the daily temperatures are equally cold as what you find in the Rheingau or in the Mosel, not 10 to 12 degrees Celsius. And that preserves acidity in the grapes. And that acidity is a key factor to what defines the wines from Washington. And with Chardonnay, if you take a typical cliche style of New World Chardonnay, well, let's go to California. You always have those tropical fruit, you have a buttery stylistic, you have some creaminess, and you get some, the cliche confirms a rich, let's say, smoky oak characteristic. In Washington, you don't get that. You get fresh fruits because of the cool climate effect that we do have in our area. And what I want to say with that, you tend to get fresh fruits like apple and pear. And because you put those apple and pear flavors, you do get a little bit of the creaminess. Because we do 42% of this wine has aged in a combination of French and American oak barriques, the 225 liters that everybody is aware of. And the more often you do the batonnage, the stirring up of the wines during its aging, the creamier it gets. We only do this every other week. That is very, very few times. That is not very often. Hands-off approach. Keep your freshness. With a wine like this, we want to achieve typical Chardonnay characteristic, typical Washington characteristic with a signature of Chateau Saint-Michel.
What would you say would be the sort of the perfect serving temperature for a Chardonnay like this? How would you? What temperature would you serve it?
I like that question because sometimes I hear that, well, your Chardonnay is a little bit bitter, and I'm like, no, that's, you should be angry with the refrigerator, not with your glass or with the wine, because the wine has been a little bit on oak. There is a little bit oak tannin in the wine, and if tannins get cold, they get bitter. So the Riesling that you served in a perfect glass, a lovely Riesling glass, light and fragrant, something like I got over here. I would serve my Riesling at about 8 to 10 degrees Celsius. Serve it a little colder, it'll warm up. And my Chardonnay, I would serve at about 10 degrees Celsius in a pretty much the same glass as you have.
Sort of a Chardonnay glass, at least is what I have here. I agree. 10, or I mean, it wouldn't mind if it even 11 or something around that. I mean, it's just I also love the sort of the mouthfeel of this wine because it's sort of a creaminess. It's just a little bit of fatness or whatever you call it. The nice mouthfeel makes it very food friendly as well. Which, and speaking about food, what would you serve? What would you pair for this wine?
Because of the creaminess that Chardonnay, as of a specific price point, has, I think once you cross the 100 krona, all Chardonnays will have specific oak treatments, a little bit more, a little bit less, and some batonnage. That means to get some of that creaminess, they need a tiny little bit of cream in their dish. At night, it likes proteins. If I love some seafood with a little bit of butter. If I go to the market in Seattle, I get some king crab legs. I make sure I put them in the oven for 10 minutes so they're nice and warm. And I put some melted butter with some sage or something like that. I make sure to lock the door from the inside to switch off the doorbell. And I make a big glass. and you put on the music that you love, and you indulge. So foods like
you're making me hungry. Yeah, you're making me hungry.
Don't serve it too cold, because then you're going to be angry with your wine because you think it's going to be bitter. Use the glass. If you don't have a glass like this, take your decoration where you put the swim candles in. Use that. Take it outside. Give it a little bit of air before you drink it. Like open it. I like to actually put it in a decanter for 20 minutes before I drink it. It gets a little bit of air. It opens up. It gives its creaminess a little bit of a chance to develop. And then you're good.